Canada has a chance to clinch its first World Cup appearance in 36 years against Costa Rica on Thursday night. To get more on the Costa Rican side, we've reached Eddie Mendez, a writer with CRC Futbol. Eddie, thanks for joining us. This is a critical time for Costa Rica right now, sitting in fifth place on the outside, looking in that fourth spot. What type of game are you anticipating against Canada?
Well, first, thank you for having me. A very crucial time for us as a nation. We're looking to qualify, obviously, for the third consecutive time. You know, the first, I guess, 3 windows of this World Cup qualifying campaign, it was a very pragmatic approach from Luis Fernando Suarez. It was a lot of trying to figure out what the player pool was capable of. You know, he came into this job rather late into the cycle. So it was a lot of, testing and a lot of figuring out what specific players can fit into his system. I think he kind of figured it out more in the last window, especially in the away game to Mexico, where the approach basically transformed from a lot of vertical, long ball, route one, get like a big physical 9 at the top of the formation and look to kind of dog it out, make it a dogfight. And it became a little bit more of a technical approach with Joel Campbell, having a stellar window, dropping into midfield a little bit more, playing higher in the formation, playing more central. So I think with the momentum kind of coming our way at the last window, coming out with 7 points, I think with the crowd finally behind us in the stadium and kind of the nation trying to lift the national team, I expect it to be a little bit more aggressive than it has been the first 11 games, more of a high press system, more of a technical game, and less of the pragmatic conservative approach that we really shown the first few games of this cycle.
Well, in that game against Canada in Edmonton, the 1-0 win for Canada, it was a very sturdy defensive effort by Costa Rica. Do you think that that's what they need to do to neutralize Canada, who's been undefeated so far?
Yeah, I think having Keylor Navas back for this game is definitely going to be helpful. Leonel Moreira was the goalkeeper in that game in Edmonton, and he really had one howler where he just kind of gifted the goal to Canada. So, Keylor Navas across this entire cycle, he's only given up 5 goals, and 1 was a penalty. So we're talking about 4 goals conceded from the run of play. And I think defensively, that's been one of our strengths. We are going to be missing Oscar Duarte defensively. He was out with a little bit of a knock to his knee over in Levante. So even then, we still have enough players in our player pool that can step in and help our defensive unit. It's been more of our ability to kind of score goals and dominate games and try and put more than 1 in the back of the net. And I think if we can kind of shift towards that dynamic, especially at home, and like I said, with the crowd behind us, I think we'll be better off. The defensive unit really is not going to be a concern for me.
And in terms of how you guys line up, for Canadians who may not be familiar with the tactical lineup of how you guys have been playing, what do you expect?
It's been a bit of a mishmash, to be honest. We've gone 4-2-3-1, 5-4-1, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-5-1. It's been basically, like I said, a lot of the stuff, we're just going to throw it against the wall, see what sticks. I expect it to be more of a system that's going to put more of an emphasis on wing play and get the most out of Joel Campbell. So we're looking at possibly a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, depending on what the shape is going to look like in midfield. And the basic setup is really going to be trying to find moments where Joel Campbell can drop into midfield, get the ball to feet, and then we're going to look for the wingers to make runs in behind and create a little bit more goal-scoring opportunities and 1v1 or 1v2 duels as we approach the final third. So it definitely I wouldn't be shocked if we went 4-4-2, but I would expect, based off of what the last window was, that we kind of stick with what has been working as we got these, crucial victories away to Jamaica. And we stick with a system that's going to get the most out of Joel Campbell.
Okay, so Canada's without Alphonso Davies for this window. Even without him last window, Canada was undefeated. What other threats do you see on Canada that Costa Rica will have to be wary of?
I would say whoever starts on the left side of your formation, the left winger, depending on what system you play, is going to be the one that's going to worry me the most. But that's more because of what we're missing at right back. Ricardo Blanco was the one that started that game in Edmonton. And, he's a local guy, plays for the club in Saprissa, and very, very defensive-minded fullback, loves to stick in a tackle, good at 1v1 duels. He's out with an injury. Christian Gamboa just got COVID. We were hoping that he was going to come back. He hasn't featured at all in this World Cup cycle. And for us, he's definitively our number one right back, but he's out due to COVID. So that puts in really Keisha Fuller. And Keisha Fuller, for those who don't know, why would you? He plays for a club at Herediano in Costa Rica. He's more of an attack-minded fullback, and 1v1 is not his strength. So I think if anybody, Buchanan is one name that comes to mind. I'm not sure if he's going to stick to one side or if he's going to move to the left side of the formation. But anybody that really deploys on that side for you guys is really going to cause him problems and is going to be able to create a lot of opportunities in the final third.
Well, we'll be looking forward to the match. And, I'm not supposed to say best of luck, being here in Canada, but I know it's important for you guys to try and get to that fourth World Cup. Thanks, Eddie, for this.
Thank you so much for having me.